Women in leadership roles often face challenges which can hinder their progress. Of course, these challenges vary depending on circumstances and the individual themselves, as well as organisational cultures. But by actively addressing these obstacles and levering your strengths, you can thrive in a leadership role as a woman. I'm Jen Churchill, and I help women grow in confidence from the inside out and the outside in, using mindset, exercise, diet, supplements, and products so they look and feel amazing and can live their best life. In today's episode, I'm going to outline 5 specific challenges that women in leadership roles or striving to be in leadership roles can face, and also some strategies to help them overcome that. I release a new episode every week, so if you don't want to miss out, hit the subscribe button below this video and you won't miss a thing. So here goes with number 1, which is unconscious bias, specifically around gender and stereotypes. As a woman, you may encounter gender bias and preconceived opinions about your leadership skills. This can lead to a lack of recognition and a lack of opportunity. To overcome this challenge, you should, first of all, build a strong professional network and find mentors. Mentors can help you demonstrate your skills and abilities and your leadership skills. Secondly, you can proactively challenge gender bias by demonstrating your own skills and abilities in a really assertive way. And thirdly, become an advocate for diversity in your organisation. Get involved in inclusion initiatives and become a leader in creating a more equal environment. A lot of these things I talked about in last week's episode in detail as well, so I'll leave a link to that one in the show notes below here today. So number 2 is a lack of representation. The further you go up the organisation, the less women you tend to see. This makes it really difficult to find mentors and role models. And in the wise words of Marian Wright Edelman, founder and president of Children's Defence Fund, you can't be what you can't see. This makes it all the more difficult to find the people that help you up into these leadership roles in the first place. To overcome this one, again, find a strong network of women in your industry, probably outside of your organisation though. There are a ton of online communities, events, networking. Do some research, get involved. Secondly, participate in women-focused leadership initiatives. These programs provide guidance, mentorship, and opportunities for growth. And number 3 is, of course, you can become a mentor to other people. Don't forget, your mentor might be on chapter 20 of their story. You might be on chapter 5 of yours, but there's always somebody on chapter 1. You've always got something to offer to other people to inspire them. So number 3 is work-life balance, or as I prefer to call it, work-life self-balance. There's a whole story around why I do that called the 3-legged stool. I'll probably save that for a blog all on its own. So balancing the demands of work life and home life can be extremely challenging, especially for women in leadership roles. Add children or elderly parents or relatives into that, and that challenge becomes tenfold. This one often leads to feelings of guilt that you're not spending enough time at home with the people that you should be with, and then when you're at home, not spending enough time on the work. Strategies to overcome this challenge include prioritising self-care, setting boundaries to ensure you have the time for your personal space. Communicate openly with your colleagues and your superiors about your commitments. You'll find that most organisations will be flexible where you need them to be. And at home, build a strong network of family and friends to have around you. That way they can provide understanding and help for you when you need it. Okay, number 4 you'll probably be familiar with, and that is imposter syndrome. So if you're at a level where you're looking to get into a leadership role, don't be imagining that those women that you aspire to be like don't have this. Imposter syndrome massively affects high-performing women. So those women at the top have got it exactly the same as we have. You'll recognise it if you don't think you're as good as other people think you are, think you're going to get found out. Those kind of feelings is where you're not giving your own capability enough justice. So to combat these feelings, you need to recognise and celebrate all your achievements, the little ones and the big ones. Focus on your skills, your expertise, and the value that you bring to the organisation. You might want to do this through journaling, maybe. Journaling for me is a really powerful tool to help me with getting my feelings out. Again, surround yourself with people who can provide reassurance and talk to you about how good you actually are. Networking with these people helps you gain perspective. And finally, continuously invest in personal development. Some of you will probably know this about me. I am a personal development junkie. It not only helps you build confidence, but it also keeps you abreast of trends and what's going on in your industry so that you sound knowledgeable, because you are knowledgeable. And number 5 is good old-fashioned lack of access to those opportunities. Women often face unequal access to not only promotions, but also those really high level projects that get you noticed and get you moved up. And I'm not going to lie, corridor conversations is still a thing. Beers for the boys after work is still a thing. It's not like it used to be, but it is still there. Add in your unconscious gender bias and expectations on women that we talked about in number 1. And sometimes there's even an assumption that a woman wouldn't want to career advance or wouldn't want to be involved in more work. So to overcome this one, you need to proactively seek out those assignments and those projects. Aim for the ones that showcase your skills, and that way you're showing colleagues and you're showing your superiors that you are keen and actively ready for growth. Communicate your career aspirations and goals to your superiors. If it's not through a project, through a one-to-one personal development review, whatever it is, get a forum and make sure they know what you want. And then finally, build a strong personal brand. It might be through public speaking, industry publications, or social media platforms. If public speaking isn't your thing and you're running for the hills that I've even said that, it's not difficult to get published, especially in industry publications, but also in more widestream ones as well. So that's it. Remember that these challenges are going to vary by circumstance, by individual and by organisational culture. Whatever challenges are that you're facing, knowing that you can overcome them, it means that you know that you can thrive in a leadership role as a woman. I'll leave a link to my website in my show notes today, so if you want to read more, you can hop on over. Remember, every step you take towards self-empowerment leads you closer to your full potential. I hope you found this useful. As ever, your feedback keeps me real and keeps me giving you the content that you're looking for. So please do leave your comments below. And in the meantime, you have a great week.